Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Football Manager 2018 with Zebu Nation. This is our Loser to Legend series with Clyde FC, and today we have for you the quarter season update for Season 4 of Ladbrokes League 2. And since this is the year of not messing around, we're going to get right into it and take a look at our position in League 2. After 9 games, we have 5 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses, a total of 17 points, and that's good enough for second place in the league, which unfortunately is not good enough for us. We want to be first place in the league, but we are only 2 points back of Brora, who have 6 wins, so it's not going to take much for us to catch them up, but it is a little disappointing that at our first check-in, we're still not top of the league. We were top of the league, as you can see here in the league position, for a few weeks. 2 weeks we were top of the league, and then we dropped back down to second. So Brora has been pretty steady this season. They've been near the top of the league for most of the season. So it looks like it's going to be a fight between them and us, but we also have East Fife breathing down our neck. Cowdenbeath is there in 4th place, so it looks like a very, very tight race again this season in Ladbrokes League 2. So there you go. There's the standings. Now let's get into the checklist, and let's start the checklist today with our own coach. Take a look. This is something I don't think I really looked at enough in our preseason spectacular, but we have gained some more ability points. Look at this. We got 8 attacking and defending and goal distribution and shot stopping. Tactical has gone up to 8. Player knowledge has gone up to 8, and motivating. So we are moving up in ability. We're getting better as a coach day by day, and things are looking pretty good. We're still 1 in level of discipline, which is crazy, because our handling of team discipline is 95%. Maybe that's the percent that we handle it as opposed to the percent that we, let our assistants handle the discipline, as we handle it 95% of the time, I guess. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're looking pretty good. Our reputation here is still at 1 star, but it has gone up from 10% to 20%. So it's looking much better. We're on the move. Our name is starting to get out there. History is something we haven't looked at in a little while. Things are still looking pretty good here. Total career earnings 58,000. Which takes into, I don't think it quite takes into account our new contract, which is a pretty nice contract. 26,500 per year is what we're getting, so that career earnings should go up and up pretty quickly. We played 156 matches, all with Clyde FC. We're winning 41% of our games at 65 wins, 57 losses, and 34 draws. Our goal differential has improved now. We got 211 goals for and 190 against. So that last season we had, where we had an excellent end to the season and we started scoring a lot of goals, that has helped us out career-wise as well. Not much has changed too much. We've sold 15 players apparently for a value of $5,000. Our highest spending is still $500 for Andy Monroe. And our highest fee received is $5,000 for Leon Maxwell, one of our golden generation players who's now at Falkirk under 20s. See, what has he done recently? Not much. They got relegated from the championship down to League 1, so that's too bad for them, but they're still a league ahead of us, so maybe they'll eventually fall back down and we can pick up Maxwell. I looked at them, like we could maybe loan Maxwell back in and play him. But what's sad is that if he was on our team this season, he would probably be starting for us at the attacking midfielder. So it's unfortunate that the board sold him out from underneath us, because he was one of the key players of our golden generation of recruits. But, such is the business we're in. So let's continue on with said checklist and go to our under 20s. We'll take a look at that golden generation. As you can see, we got a lot of other players right now in our under 20s. Some of the golden generation guys are still down there. Kenny Leach right now, I think, has become one of our top prospects. 18-year-old winger. He's a leader. Still only at 1.5 stars, but he's getting better all the time. Look at his stats going up. His stats are pretty decent. He's played several games for us this season already. Take a look at his stats for us. He's had 3 appearances, got a goal, 6.67 rating, so he's doing pretty well as an 18-year-old. Who else is on here? Kieran Anderson, another 18-year-old central defender. He's also only 1.5 stars, 2.5 star potential. So our golden generation is looking less and less golden the more we get to know them, but they are still improving. You know, you look at this guy, he's pretty decent in terms of size and strength. He's one of our bigger, stronger defenders at 6'3", 11 strength, 12 jumping reach as an 18-year-old. Where he's lacking right now are the technicals. His marking and tackling are not up to snuff, but he's played a little bit for us this year, and he is listed as an exciting young prospect, so he's still going to be in our plans for the future. Other than that, not a lot of our other guys are still down here in the under 20s, which I guess is good news that we've signed them up to the senior team. But most of these other guys down here are guys we've brought in and sent down to the under 20s for fitness levels. No real exciting intakes since last time, so nothing to report there. Finances, we're down a little bit from where we were in the off season. You can see we were up here, at 50,000, around 40,000, I guess, somewhere between there in the off season, and it's been going down and down ever since. We're now negative $9,000 in the bank, but that's okay. That's that's doable. And as you can see, our payroll has gone up significantly. 419,000. We made a signing or two, or one, I think, maybe just one. But anyway, we're spending a lot of money this season. That's why the expectations are so high on us. Let's get to the board. Look at these expectations. How are we meeting them? Pretty good, 59%. A little bit better than they were in the preseason, which was 57%. Board confidence, they are loving our club philosophies because most of the players we signed in the offseason were young players, under 23s. And that's what the board wanted, that's what they asked for, and that's what we delivered. We had the 131-year-old we signed, but everybody else was, I believe, 23 and under. So they were incredibly happy with our club signings. Leadership support they're happy with. Finances they're pretty happy with. Even tactics this season, 56%. That's our best they've ever liked our tactics. So they apparently like the diamond formation. What does it say over here? Fans are satisfied with the impact of the diamond narrow formation has had in recent matches. So there you go. We're looking good. They're pleased with the number of young first-team players you've signed. And that's the key. That's what I found is the difference. Is it's not just signing young players. It's signing young players to first-team contracts. You have to put in the contract, this is a first-team player, and that's how the board will look at the club philosophies and be happy with the club philosophies. So that's a mistake I've made in the past, where I've signed a lot of young players, but I've signed them to, rotational contracts or hot prospect contracts or something like that, and the board has never responded to those signings. It's not until this season when I signed those guys to first-team contracts that suddenly the board is super excited about these philosophies. So that's a little tip. That's what it takes to get the board happy, is actually sign the guys to first-team contracts like it says in the philosophy. Anyway, the one criticism they have of us is our 1-0 loss to Cowdenbeath. Yeah, that was not a good loss. I will agree with that. Club-wise, we're looking okay. We're regional still, 1-star reputation, not a lot going on. General, Cudahy, Miller, and McKinley are still favored personnel. We are not on the list yet, so we're not yet on the road to being a legend, but one of these days we'll get there. Transfers, we got one of our youngsters going out. Alan Murray is going to be sold to civil service. I guess he's going to get a government job. I don't know exactly what that means. I mean, this must be a team, an amateur team named the Civil Service Strollers. Do these guys all work for the government? Does the government job come with this? I don't know, but, good luck to Mr. Alan Murray on his way out. Transfer history. So our only real signing, we had two signings. So in the last video, in the preseason spectacular, you saw that we had some players in on trial from our new affiliate club. And I actually tried to sign one of those players to a loan contract. And I thought I had signed him to a loan contract. He agreed, the club agreed, everybody agreed. We said, yeah, come on in on loan. And then after a couple of games, he just left. He was just gone, just whoosh, vanished. I don't know where he went. Maybe our parent club recalled him, because that's part of their deal, is they can recall their loan players at any time. But I didn't get an email. I didn't get anything. I mean, he was on trial, and his trial ended, but I thought I had signed him to a loan contract. So he should have been here on loan. But anyway, he's gone, and who has entered in his place? Well, not in his place, but anyway, on the final day, on the special transfer deadline day, we went out and signed Aaron Davies, 23-year-old Welsh central defender. Yes, that's right, another central defender. I don't have many philosophies when it comes to Football Manager. I try to sort of just play the best guys I can play. But I guess if I have a philosophy, it's that you can never have too many strikers and you can never have too many central defenders. So this guy was available. He was the best guy on our board. And so I sent a contract. I said, hey, you want to come play for us? And he said, yep, as long as you give me a lot of money. $36,000 or £1,000 is what we're paying this guy. He is our best defender, 4 stars, got 4.5-star potential. He's pretty good. 15 jumping reach, so we don't have to worry about that on the back line anymore, getting out jumped on the back line. We got Aaron Davies back there. So physically, he's very good. Leadership-wise, outstanding as well. So we got a good, strong leader on the back line. Where he falls a little short is technically, heading, marking, tackling. But being only 23 years old, that kind of stuff can still improve. So it's not like this is the end of his career or anything like that. He will hopefully improve in those areas. And there's an install update that I don't need to worry about. And, yeah, so we spent a lot of money at the transfer deadline, even though we didn't actually transfer him in. He was a free transfer. Anyway, just in terms of his salary, that's why we had such a big jump in our finances there, is because of Mr. Aaron Davies. So he's going to have to work hard for all that money that we're giving him. And that's pretty much it for the transfers. Nothing else really happened other than saw that one youngster's going out and Aaron Davies is coming in, and then we had the one failed loan attempt. All right, so we looked at competitions. Medical center, we've had some injuries, not a ton of injuries, but enough to kind of disrupt us a little bit. Even though I got an email saying, yeah, this is what it said from Stephen Dahl. Is it Dahl or Dolly? It's Dahl. Stephen Dahl, our sports scientist, has said we've seen a 38% decrease in injuries this season. 38% basically below the average of what's expected. So that's pretty good. That means we haven't had many injuries, but the injuries we have had have been kind of annoying and it's just kept us from building some team cohesion with some of our starters. The big injury we've got right now is Callum Hendry, one of our new strikers that we signed, our defensive forward. He's been injured, and he's been injured for quite a long time. Right now, he's still going to be out for 3 months potentially. So we've had to find permanent replacement for him, and that's no problem because we got a ton of strikers. But that's kind of goes to my philosophy. You can never have enough strikers because something like this can happen. And then Darren Miller has been injured. He's going to be out for another 2 weeks. So that's 2 big contributors to our team who are out for long extended periods. Let's see. Let's go to our dynamics, I guess. We're still at average team cohesion, going down a little bit for some reason. I don't like that. Maybe it's due to the injuries. I don't know. Locker room atmosphere is also down a little bit to average. Team leadership support, of course, is still very good. So our dynamics are a little shaky, but they're nowhere near as volatile as they've been in the past. In the past, like, these dynamics would be all over the place. Now they're just sort of hovering around average and good and not sort of fluctuating like they have in the past. All right, so hierarchy, still the same hierarchy. Cudahy and Miller at the top. No highly influential players. They keep telling me to make McKinley our captain, but he's not starting, and Cudahy is still our captain, and he's doing a fine job in his captain roles. He's handling all the people who come and say they want more playing time or they want to be traded or whatever. I send him to Cudahy, and he figures it out. So I'm not going to change that dynamic. We've invested a lot in his leadership, and he has paid us back, so we're going to keep him as our team captain. Support, we now have 20 players supporting us. 9 players have no real opinion of us, so that's okay. I don't know where that 20th player come from. I think last time we were 19-9, so we must have brought somebody up from the under 20s who support us, and that must be what happened. I'm looking on here and see who maybe we could have brought up. Maybe Boss Hog. He was in the under 20s for a while. Maybe Thomas the Target Man. He was in the under 20s for a while. Anyway, whatever happened, he supports us. They support us. Everyone supports us. Social groups, we're looking still pretty good, other than Murtog and Cameron. Murtog, the old man, doesn't have anybody his age to talk to. He's even older than I am, or at least, Zebu Nation Jr. is. So he really doesn't have anybody to talk to, unfortunately. Happiness-wise, everybody's pretty green. It's a more yellow shade of green than it was earlier in the season, but it's still green. It still counts as green. And we're looking good. So, schedule. How did we get here? Where do we come from? Where do we go? Let's see. We ended up in the... Last time we checked in was our win here in the Iron Brew Cup versus Rangers under 20s. We went on a nice little win streak to start the season off. 3 wins in a row. Then we lost in the Iron Brew 2-2 to Al Airdrie. Again, another penalty shootout loss, unfortunately. Airdrie is a pretty good club. They're in League 1, so, we took them to the limit. But again, our specialty teams let us down, and that's just kind of what you have to deal with playing in these lower leagues, is you have guys who are specialists in whatever position they play. They play center defense, and that's it. Or they play fullback, and that's it. They don't know nothing about throw-ins or crosses or free kicks or, God forbid, penalty kicks. They ain't got time to train for that kind of stuff. So when it comes to penalty kicks, we're just no good. We played a decent game there. Dallas was huge, 8.8 rating with 2 goals. So he kept us in the game single-handedly, but he just couldn't win it in overtime, in penalties, and we lost, and we're out of the Iron Brew Cup. So there's a little bit of a hangover there. We lost at home to a Broth 1-0 after that. This number down the center here is the attendance, so our attendance is, fluctuating up and down. Home matches are pretty good. We had 600 versus a Broth. That's, usually around 500 is what we get. So anything above 500 in a home game, I think, is pretty good. And we've had a couple of those, but we've also had, a couple of stinkers in here. 258 showed up for Cumbernauld. That was a friendly. We had several friendlies that we threw in there just to keep some of our guys match fit. And I think the friendlies, as much as they helped our match fitness, they kind of maybe disrupted our rhythm a little bit, especially with our first team players, and maybe messed with our finances a little bit. So I had to come back and play another game, another friendly versus Rangers to get some of those finances back. And, that was a 5-1 drubbing against Rangers. So that's the last game that I played. And I don't think the team is too happy about that. That's why our dynamics are down a little bit at the moment. But if we can bounce back versus Albion, which is the game we're going to play today, I think we'll be okay. We got the Scottish Cup second round coming up against a Broth. Is that again we're playing them, or are there just too many teams with names that sound similar? I guess we haven't played them. Oh, yes, we did. We played them earlier in the season. They beat us 1-0 earlier in the season. Did they drop down to League 2? Yeah. So they were in League 1 last season, and they dropped down to League 2 this season. So they're going to be a tough team to play, even though they've had to probably cut some salary and stuff like that. But they are, they're 8th in the league, so they're not looking too hot. They might be on a downward spiral here. They are actually in sort of relegation danger zone, only 2 points clear of Edinburgh City. So, if we can pile a loss onto those guys here today, that could kind of send them in a tailspin maybe. Anyway, that's who we're playing. That's what we're doing. Let's get to the team selection. And guess what we're doing? We're doing the diamond formation. We have gone back and forth a little bit with our 4-1-2-3 DM wide. We've still been playing that a little bit to make sure our wingers play. And you saw Dallas had a very good game in our Iron Brew Cup match. But, we're going to stick with the diamond just because it is our best formation. So let's go. Submit that team. Yeah, we got some guys who are lacking match sharpness. That's fine. It would have been even worse without all those friendlies, because we had several weeks where we'd play a game or two and then have no game at all the next week. So I scheduled friendlies in there to keep our guys sharp and to help sharpen up guys who aren't starting. So it looks like Albion is going with this ill-conceived 4-5-1 yet again. And if the teams in League 2 keep this up, I will be more than happy to oblige them. They can play this 4-5-1 all they want. I have beaten it handily for the last 2 seasons pretty well. Looks like we got to keep an eye on Michael Brown, who is their center midfielder. He's got their highest average, 7.14 and 2 assists. Their captain is Donaldson down here, fullback. Not very good, 6.3 rating. 6.5 rating, so they got a lot of sort of not great ratings on their team. McKenna, their striker, only has 1 goal, so maybe this team is just not very offensively dangerous, but we are, and we're going to go with Manson in goal today, give him a little bit of a start. We got Stewart and Finlayson back at the fullback position, Davies and Kessie as our central defenders. I renamed Omolokan to just his first name, which is Kessie, which is a lot easier to say, especially during commentary. So he will henceforth be known as Kessie. And then we got Cudahy, Murtaugh, Barry, and Montgomery in the midfield, with Thomas the target man moving up to the starting lineup with that injury, and now Peters as well. He's back from some, on and off injuries, but he's been very good when he's been in there. 10 appearances, 7 goals, 5 assists, 7.34 rating. He's our top goal scorer. He also has our most assists, and I guess he's not quite our top-rated player, but he is up there. He's close. So let's go. Team talk. Do we owe these guys for last time? No, we're the favorites here. Go out and be favorable. Favorable. All right, here we are. An away match at Albion. Let's go. We are in our classic white jerseys, black shorts, Red Sox. Let's go, Clyde. Here we are. All right, so this is going to be probably another one of those sort of slow, sluggish defensive matchups. Let's make sure we're on the right version of highlights here, extended highlights. We're going to need those if we're going to get any highlights at all versus Albion because of how conservatively they're playing. I just don't understand these teams. I mean, I guess it's one thing to play defensive, but... All right, here's our first highlight. Albion has the ball. They're not looking too sure of themselves. Scott passed it all the way across the field to Orsi. See if he can get by our fullback. Nope, doesn't even try. Gets it to Donaldson, who sends it forward. Davies is there to recover it. Gets it to Kessie. All right, boys, let's start the attack. Up to Barry. Barry to Montgomery. Montgomery looking for someone to get it to. Has to send it wide to Finlayson. Back to Montgomery. Let's go. Murtaugh, is he going to try to make a play? Gets it out wide. Sends it in for the target man, but it's intercepted. Murtaugh, though, saves it. Peters, I don't know. That was an ill-advised shot, my man. That was You should have shown a little bit more patience. Here's a new highlight. 13 minutes in, Albion has it. Throw in on the near side. McKenna centers to McPhee. Out wide, far side to Orsi. Orsi trying to take on Stewart. He centers it. Davies is there, though. Cudahy heads it up. Albion recovers. They're going to reset their offense. They're keeping their fullbacks back, their central defense back. They're just hoping to get one goal somehow, some way, and then sit on the ball. McPhee to Brown. Out wide again to Orsi. He sends it into the box. Kessie is there, though. Uh-oh. McPhee's going to take a shot wide. I think I'm going to tell the boys to retain possession, work the ball in the box, and control the match. All right, here's Peters with a shot just off the crossbar. So that was exciting. What are we looking at here? We got 6 shots to 1. Only 1 on target. 50% of the possession. So let's just up that possession, see if we can hold the ball on these guys, get a goal, and get out of here with a win. You know, if this doesn't work in the second half, maybe we'll try to bash it downfield a little bit, maybe get behind their defense, see if Peters can make a run. Because he's a bit more of a long ball specialist, I think Peters is. Ooh, we got a text going on in the background. Here's Thomas, target man. He nearly gets dispossessed. He does get dispossessed. Donaldson now has it for Albion. 35 minutes down. They're going to try to matriculate the ball down the field a little bit. Nope, they're just going to bash it wide and long, and McKenna just outraces our defense. Boys. What's up? I mean, he bashed. Look, you got him beat. You got him beat, and then the defense just stops. They just stop. Not happy. Not happy about that. I mean, that was a nice finish, but he had all day to do it. If you got all day to beat a goalkeeper, now it's going to be difficult. Now they got a goal lead. They can just park the bus. Uh-oh, here's McKenna with a free kick. It goes wide. We can't afford a loss to Albion. I mean, Albion. I'm just going to be honest with you. Cannot afford a loss to these guys. It would be detrimental to our dreams of first place. 44 minutes down. We're looking tight, I think. So second half, I think we'll loosen it up a little bit. Maybe not go on attacking, but yeah, we'll work on something. Analysis, what do we got? Orsi. Okay, we can close down on Orsi. And we've already, changed to work the ball in the box. So pep talk. We need to fire these boys up. Let's be passionate. Come on, boys. You can do much better in the second half. No, nobody cares about that. All right. I see how you are. I see how... Smell what the Rock is cooking. I don't know. All right. So we're going to go back to standard. Retain possession. Get a little wider, maybe. Be more expressive. How about that? Let's try that. That always works, right? That never fails. Just go out there and express yourself. Like a Madonna song. Express yourself, right? Anybody? No? Okay. There we go. Murtaugh, nice interception. There ends the highlight. All right. We got 45 minutes to get a one back here, fellas. Let's not waste time. Yeah, 50 minutes down. It's going to be one of those games where we just have to hope and pray something happens. They're getting too many of these free kicks. I don't like it. Orsi. Oh, nice steal. Cudahy, our man, our captain. Let's go. Counterattack. What are you doing? Counterattack. There we go. Peters. Up ahead, he's got Thomas. Thomas is in the box. He sends it back post for Thomas. Off the crossbar. Come on. That was a great looking play, and he messed it up. Stewart now with the free kick. Miller's not in there. Thomas has it. He sends it across to Peters. There's about 1 million guys between him and the goal, and he just lets it get stolen. Murtaugh doesn't have the foot speed to track that down, but here is Brown on the counterattack for Albion now. Okay, Murtaugh finally gets in gear, gets some old bones rolling. There's the cross, but Manson is there, thankfully. Okay. 55 minutes. We're looking for the next highlight. Let's go. What do our ratings look like here? Davies, come on, man. We're paying you a lot of money. You can't be having 6.4 ratings. Not so good. And he's got a yellow card now, so we might have to take him out. Here's Manson with the free kick. 56 minutes down, so that's okay. Thomas wins the header at midfield, gets it down to Montgomery, back to Thomas. Let's restart the offense here. Tries to send it forward. That was somewhat ill-advised, but Barry recovers the rebound. Here's Finlayson on the outside. He sends it back post for Thomas. He gets a header on it. Oh, nice save from Potts. As you can see, though, they are looking for Thomas, so that's good. Stewart wins one out of touch, but do we get a highlight out of it? No. Clock is rolling, 60 minutes down. 61. All right, let's look at some possible substitutions. We got Morrison on the bench. We got Breslin. Who do we need to replace here? We need to replace Davies. He's not playing well. He's got that yellow card, so we'll get him out of there. Question is, do we put Breslin back there or Morrison? I think we'll put Breslin back there just because we trust him a little bit more. We know that he can do what we need him to do. So that's one substitute. Anybody else we need to make? I don't think so. We could bring McKinley in for a spark. Could bring Danknovich in for Montgomery. Nobody else really has a terrible rating except for Jordan Stewart. And our only option there is Stephen J. Josaphat Smith here. And I don't know that he's really the option we want to bring in there at that left fullback. It's not like he's that much better or worse than Stewart. It's just, I don't know. We'll try this for now. One sub and see what's up. You know, maybe once we get to the 70-minute mark, we'll make some other changes here, which might be necessary. Oh, boy. Orsi with the free kick sends it over the net. Into the parking lot, perhaps. 68 minutes. Let's go. Let's get another highlight. Looks like we're warming up, getting ready for the next highlight. You can tell when the highlight's coming up when the clock starts ticking slower and slower. It means they're like loading something. It says right here, waiting for next highlight. Right now, we've dropped down to third place with this result. Nope, no highlights. 72 minutes. All right, pause. What are we going to do? I guess we have to go on the attack. Right? I mean, there's not much else we can do at this point, so let's go. 74 minutes. Let's hope our boys can make a play. Somebody, please make a play. 75 minutes. We're going to make a substitution. Montgomery coming out. Danknovich going in. Stewart has continued to get worse and worse, so we're going to bring in Steve Smith and see what he can do. So there we go. There's our third substitute. Let's see if somebody can get in there and do something. 79. 80 minutes. No. Orsi has been injured, their right midfielder, so I guess that's good for us. Potential thigh injury, they've subbed him out. But this is the one problem with going against this 4-5-1, is if they do happen to get the first goal, it's is just like running in tar to try to get a goal. I mean, try overload. Something I've avoided doing lately is messing with all these instructions, but sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures here. 4 minutes of stoppage time. Nothing happening. Nothing going on. 91. All right, here we go. 2 minutes of stoppage time left. Sending one wide. Albion has it to Scott in the box. Nearly an own goal. 1 minute of stoppage time left. Again, another Albion highlight. McGuigan just sends it wide. "30 seconds left. It's looking like another 1-0 defeat. Not good. Cudahy has it. Last attempt. Gets it up to Peters. Peters almost snuck one through to Thomas, but not quite. Breslin brings it up. Barry to Dagnovich. 5 seconds remaining. Breslin, can he boot it? Nope. Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. This is damaging. Damaging loss. We can't... I'm simply put, not good enough. Get out of here. Who's stressed about that? Dagnovich. All right, that's fine. You know, we can't lose games like that and expect to stay up with the top of the league, because you know eventually one of these teams is going to separate themselves and they're going to go on an extended winning streak, and then they're going to start putting a lot of points between us and them. Now, thankfully, it looks like Bora lost. So East Fife, all that happened is East Fife gained a couple of points on us. Has dropped us down to third. So we could probably withstand that. Actually, Cowdenbeath also gained some points on us, so we're now in a dogfight. Luckily, you know, neither East Fife nor Bora has managed to pull away from us just yet, but we can't have many more games like that and expect to win the league. So we got to come up with something and make sure that doesn't happen again. Yeah. Hopefully, just through the course of play, Cudahy is now suspended. That's not helpful. But hopefully through the course of play, we'll figure something out. Our players will start to get more aligned and play better together. And, you know, we'll just improve as a team and start winning games. But, you know, we can't have games like Aaron Davies. If you're not performing, we got a bunch of central defenders we can throw in there. You don't have to play, my man, just because you got a big contract. If you're not performing, a 6.6 rating ain't going to do it. Not when we got, you know, Morrison sitting on the bench at a 6.93 rating. So we're going to have to make some changes and put the guys in there who are playing the best. And, you know, forget about contracts. Look at Dallas, 7.37 rating. He's probably our highest rated player right now. Yeah. So we might have to go back to the wing formation just to get Dallas in there and get him more playing time. So we'll think about that. We'll think about lots of different things, and we'll come back at mid-season. Let's take a look at the schedule. So let's see. We got a Scottish Cup game coming up next. And then we'll look here, probably playing against Cowdenbeath, or maybe a rematch against Albion will be our next match. That seems more likely what it'll be. So we'll come back and we'll play these guys again, I guess, unless there's a cup game in the middle here somewhere between Cowdenbeath and Albion. So until then, until mid-season, we'll see you then. Whatever. I'm out of here. Goodbye.
They call the Clyde, who will fill your heart with pride. Dressed up in the red and black, we an L sign on the back. They've a winger and a keeper and a great big carpet sweeper. It's a bully.